when others oppose our good ideas out of mere stubbornness and obstinacy, and we become frustrated and upset, but we don't realize that the same problem, our own stubbornness, causes us so much trouble and limits our creative powers. As children, we had completely flexible minds, and our learning speed at that time was far beyond our current age. The source of this ability in learning can be attributed to the sense of weakness and vulnerability in childhood. That is because we felt weaker and smaller compared to adults. So we had a great motivation to learn. Moreover, since we really knew nothing, we were extremely curious and eager to know more. Also, because of our lack of experience, we were open and receptive to the influence of parents, peers, and teachers. Many of us in adolescence were influenced by books, films, and music. The ideas of the writers, actors, and singers of these works easily attracted us. And because we had a receptive mind, we were easily influenced by them and fascinated by them. So much so that those ideas were imprinted in our minds, becoming part of our thoughts and beliefs. And therefore, the impact of those exciting ideas followed us for years, sometimes even into adulthood. But just because these ideas came from ignorance doesn't mean they were all bad. And in fact, encountering these ideas and being influenced by them helped shape and enrich our mental world. Our intelligence and mental strength depend on whether we have been and can continue to use the wisdom and experience of those older and wiser than us. That is, we learn to find right and wrong from their experiences, which are now their ideas, and use them. But we must consider that the mind, like the body, becomes rigid and inflexible with age, just as feelings of weakness and vulnerability increases our thirst and motivation for learning. On the other hand, feelings of superiority and self-sufficiency gradually close our minds to new ideas and influences. To better explain the subject, let's define the ideal state of the mind. The ideal state of the mind is one that has the flexibility of youth and the reasoning power of adulthood. Such a mind is open and receptive to the influence of others, while still being capable of analysis and distinguishing right from wrong. To achieve such an ideal mental state, we must first apply and adhere to a key principle of Socratic philosophy. The story of this philosophy began when one of Socrates' admirers, named Chaerephon, became frustrated by the fact that the Athenians did not respect Socrates as much as he deserved. So one day, Chaerephon went to the old man in the temple of Delphi and asked him, "Is there anyone wiser than Socrates in all of Athens?" The old man responded, "No, there isn't." Chaerephon, having proven his belief correct, happily went to Socrates to deliver this good news. However, Socrates, being a humble person, was not at all pleased to hear this. Instead, he set out to prove that the old man was wrong about him. So he went to notable people in various fields to talk to them, from politicians to artists, merchants, and other professions. And he asked them many questions, and as long as they talked about their own profession, they seemed skilled and intelligent. But as soon as he talked to them about topics outside their expertise, their ignorance became apparent. Socrates concluded that no one is perfect and no one in the world knows everything. So he returned to the old man and told him, "See, no one is perfect. There is no one who knows everything." The old man responded, "You are the wisest of all because you are the only one who is aware of your own ignorance." And this is how Socratic philosophy was born. To better understand, let's look at it this way. We always mock and laugh at the superstitions and irrational ideas of people from the 17th century. But imagine how much and how people of the 25th century will mock and laugh at our current beliefs and ideas. But you might think that we have made significant scientific progress, but the truth is that our knowledge of the world is very limited. It is only new and extraordinary for our own time, just as the level of knowledge in the 17th century was far greater than in the 13th century. In fact, every era follows this pattern, being more complete and advanced than its predecessor. For example, in the very same 17th century, whose beliefs and thoughts we now find amusing, people were able to invent the first steam engine, the first microscope, the first mechanical calculator, and so on. Thank you for watching this video. And lastly, always remember this Socratic philosophy.